Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing details. Today we are discussing the Corum Bubble Skeleton with bronze PVD and stainless steel. This watch is a 350-piece limited edition. The Bubble originally launched by Corum in 2000. It was inspired by the aesthetically similar 1950s Rolex Deep Sea Special, which used an enormous plexiglass crystal to ensure hermeticity at the most extreme depths. Well, the Bubble is not a dive watch, nor does it use plexiglass. It uses what was, back in 2000, an 11 millimeter thick sapphire crystal to create a distortion-like effect from almost every angle, and that's only grown greater with time since the 2015 relaunch of the Bubble series. The crystal has grown thicker, the watch has grown larger, and the movement's more elaborate, and this 350-piece limited edition shows you just how far the line has come. We'll throw it on my wrist, but first, the basics. Reborn for 2015, the Bubble became a 47 millimeter watch almost across the board. It is 18.6 millimeters thick, and you can see how much of that is the sapphire. The watch is 55.5 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip with a 24 millimeter spacing between the lugs. While outlandish, both in its appearance and its size, it wears surprisingly well. You can see just how the case cups the wrist so it sits securely, oversized and somewhat outrageous, outlandish. One might even say raffish and debonair if you have the panache. That is the look here, so it's not supposed to be proportional. No, I don't think it's going to fit underneath the cuff. I really, really don't. And you can see that across the wrist, it's actually right out to the edge, but it's not over the edge. So I think if your wrist is my size, 16 centimeters circumference or larger, game on with the bigger Bubble. The strap's a fusion of rubber and leather. You can see on the bottom, it is rubber. On the top, it is calfskin in brown to match the case. It is a conforming strap, so there's a little bit of rigidity here. You can't pull the strap straight down out of the lugs, but the shape of the case helps mitigate against fit issues. We've got a monotone stitch, we have strap minders in rubber, and then we have a matching bronze PVD stainless steel pin buckle. You could see that the PVD is in outstanding condition here, all satinated with a couple of notable facets. There's a bevel that runs end to end. The bezel is stepped in from the case band. There's a little bit of a flat of the lug hood in the case band, and then there is a conical profile to the bezel, and then another steeper conical profile. All this satin finished. We have a screw down crown with a shoulder in rubber, and it's all polished. The watch is 100 meters water resistant. I'm not sure that there's an obvious angle to show you most of the dial, so we're just going to have to rotate here and work from side to side. Now, the fundamental architecture here is an ETA 2892, and although it could be either an Eterna 39, which is based on the 2892, or a Sellita SW300, which basically is the 2892. Mechanically, it's basically all the same. What matters here is the amount of customization done, as the movement is only developed to fit a case like this with this aesthetic for the Bubble. This is not a ETA architecture you're going to find in some Tissot or Longines. This is special and distinctive of the Bubble skeleton. We'll do a quick loom shot so you can see that the watch is fairly well loomed by night, and at all three hands. You can even see the escape wheel running away underneath the hour hand there, so no problems there. Being well loomed steel, automatic winding, and 100 meters water resistant, you could definitely call this a sports watch. Now you can see that the bridges all have a nickel anthracite coating. The keyless works is visible and it's been polished. The barrel has been opened up and you can actually see the mainspring coiling. The balance is visible from the dial side along with the escapement, which sits adjacent, and then all of the bridges have been beveled on their side using a machining technique, and then satinated with a brushed sort of engine turning. All of the screw heads are polished, and you can see there's a track outboard for reading the minutes, the seconds, and the hours. Flipping it all over, You can see this one notes 26 joules, which leads me to believe it might be an SW300 architecture, but all versions of this architecture are bidirectional automatic winding, feature a 4 Hz beat rate, hacking seconds, a 42-hour power reserve, and as you can see right here, the rotor has been skeletonized, and there's an uncommon refinement at center with ceramic bearings used, not common on 2892 architectures, but it does improve the durability and reduce the maintenance requirements. And you can see that the same degree of skeletonization of the mechanism has been executed on the reverse side. It's very nicely decorated. You can also see that the case back has a little bit more contrast and finish with both polish and satination. If you're going to get a Corum from the modern era, the late Severin Wunderman, who was the owner of Corum and the creator of the Bubble, would want you to have this model. It is a modern-day signature of one of the art house brands in the industry. Corum out of La Chaux-de-Fonds, always going style first and leading with its heart, as it has since the very first models. Coin watches, Rolls-Royce watches, toboggan watches, bubbles. There's nothing Corum won't try at least once, or in the case of this, 350 times. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.